Hey baddies, welcome to another Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot. Today I'm doing a pop-up pick a card, and this one is all about your most powerful past life and how it is relevant to your life today. So keep in mind this is a general reading, so you're just going to take what resonates and leave the rest behind. So how a pop-up reading works for me is I'm going to shuffle up these cards and we're going to take the four cards that pop out or I'm guided to draw, and those are going to be your picks, and I will be pulling as I go today. So I expect this to be quite a deep reading, and we should find out some really interesting and insightful things about your life today and your past life. So I have pulled a lot of decks today, so we'll just see where spirit guides us. So we have three cards here. Okay, so we have more. We have five cards that came out. Now, I'm going to choose to not take this one right here. We're going to take these, okay? So, because all of these were flipped up. So I'm going to take that as a sign that these are the cards to take. This one was flipped down. Okay, so the first one I see is confidence. So that's going to be my group one. I'm going to give you guys a chance to kind of see it. Sorry, my little fingers are having some issues, but there you go. There's group one. Okay, group one, confidence. We have group two, mindfulness. Okay, that is my group two. Group three is going to be overcoming fear. Ooh, that's a powerful card. Beautiful. And group four is going to be let go. Lovely. And we have a crab here. Interesting. Beautiful energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a photograph for those of you who need more time to see which group you're drawn to. If you're drawn to more than one group, there probably is more than one message here for you. And with that said, I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey, group one, all of you that selected confidence, this is going to be your reading all about your most powerful past life and how it is relevant to your life today. So keep in mind, this is a general reading, it's a general session, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind, all right? Okay, so let's get into it and we'll find out about your past life. Let's get a few cards from the archetype oracle here. Just a few. I feel like knocking this deck, so we're going to knock it. Okay, spirit. Oops. This wants to fumble out of my hand. So I'm really drawn to the bee here with a crown, queen bee energy. Tell me about this past life. This card, these cards want to come out. We have slave and angel. Let's get one more. Two more. This one and this one. Okay. We have pioneer and artist. I'm getting a vibe here. Your most powerful past life. Tell me about my group one's most powerful past life. Most powerful past life. I'm getting a vision here of someone sculpting, someone painting. Someone sculpting, someone painting. We have forgiveness. Someone sculpting, someone painting. The room is like a stone room. We have farm. We have mother. We have trees. We have ships. Why do I want to cry? I want to cry. I want to cry. These two. Medicine woman. Wars and battles. I feel that. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I'm feeling about this past life. I feel like you were a slave to a very powerful artist someone who was a sculptor. They also painted as well. Okay. Whew, the time period, it feels like um, the area is Greco-Roman, Mediterranean. Um, this is around the time of like great philosophers. I'm hearing the names Socrates, Plato. I right now the time period specifically isn't coming through as much as the impressions that I'm getting of like large, very beautiful, graceful statues. Okay, the magic crystal ball, which is Google, is telling me that's around the 8th century. And the art that I looked at is what I'm seeing. So if you want to know more, kind of go look at that and Google that, okay? A lot of beautiful sculpture. Um, I also see painting as well. So I think this artist did more than just sculpt. I feel like this artist was actually very fond of you. Here's what happened. I feel like you were enslaved due to war. Okay, we have war here. All right. Wars and battles. We have a ship. I feel like you were put on a ship. You were taken away from your mother, from a farm. Okay. Um, and I feel like I'm being drawn to this tree, and my crown is completely opening up. I feel sadness here. Um, you may have some special affinity for trees or have a memory of a tree that has to do with this past life. Also, there are horses here. Horses may hold some kind of special significance. Some of you guys may have some kind of fear of water, or you may not want to go on boats or ships or something like that. I feel like your mother was probably a medicine woman or medicine man. They were, I feel like they were gifted in spiritual arts, okay? I feel like you had the gift in that life as well, but you were taken and enslaved due to war. I feel like you came from, I'm feeling a very distant land. And I don't know the history. I, I took this in college, but I don't remember, you guys. I don't remember. In college, you learn it and you dump it. So, um, but it feels like it's very far off. And I got to tell you, it feels like you came from like Britannia or Britain or somewhere that far away. Um, so it feels like there was some kind of like, it may have been an exploration, and not like a war, but you were still taken. Um, so it's complex, okay? It feels like you came, it may be Spain that you came from, but it feels very green and very lush, okay? And it feels like you had some like Pick ancestry or Pickish. Um, I feel like um, I'm seeing like your family still may have like carried the tattoos on like parts of their body. I feel like your mom may have had some tattoos, some special meaning tattoos or something that came from the old tradition or something like that. Um, just take what resonates here. You may have a special affinity for certain kinds of tattoos that are meaningful. Um, and I feel like your mother was killed, because there's something, I'm getting something here about not able to make the voyage on the ship. I feel like the voyage was long, okay? You were taken when you were young, very young. We have Angel here. Um, you were taken you when you were very young, and I feel you were very attractive. You were beautiful, okay? And that's another reason why you were taken. I'm trigger warning. I'm going to tell you that there was, you were enslaved, so there was abuses here. There was definite trauma, and I feel like this artist was a pioneer, okay? And they purchased you, okay? They took you in. They saw your beauty, they saw your youth, and they took you in, all right? Um, and I think it feels like on the ship they may have started training you a bit to be of service. Um, and it feels like it was very harsh on the ship. Um, some of the people didn't make it. They were thrown over because food rations were precious on that voyage. Woo, it's intense. It's very intense here. Now, I get pulled to wars and battles, and I feel like your people were not like maybe not this generation, but generations back, that you come from a line of fighting people. Like you came from a line of warrior people in this lifetime. So it was very difficult for you to submit to your enslavement. You had a fighting spirit. And on the ship, um, it was difficult. It was very difficult. There was a lot of trauma. Um, and in this life, you may have found you have issues with authority. You may resist a lot. I'm also feeling hidden talent here because what I'm starting to move into is this artist pioneer saw more in you than just like a slave. I believe that originally I hate fucking talking about this because it's so heartbreaking to talk about people like this. But this is the past. So I'm sorry. I just had to. I feel like you were purchased. It's just so revolting. Um, at first, they were going to place you like outside, and when I'm going to say he because it's a male, it's a masculine. When they purchased you, and some of you guys were masculine, some of you guys were feminine. There is androgyny in this as well, okay, or non-binary energy here. Um, they saw how beautiful you were, and he did not allow you to be put outside. Okay, so you were brought in to the house at first, and then they saw your spirit. There's something about a caning or a whipping here, or a lashing, and they didn't want you marked anymore. And eventually, what happened was it feels like you were pulled into the studio, and you became like a studio helper, a studio slave, a studio assistant. Okay. Um, and I feel like there's a lot of I'm really sad because I feel like in this life you were very, very talented. Um, and I speak about the tattoos because I feel like you had this medicine man, medicine woman, medicine person vibe, but there's a craft with that. And I'm getting pulled to like tattoos, but I'm also getting pulled to intricate work, which happens to take place in sculpture, large sculpture. And I feel this artist did large pieces. And I'm going to tell you, and I try not to blow things up, but I'm going to tell you that this this master, okay, this is a master sculptor, okay, their pieces still exist in museums. Some of those museums are not, they don't belong there. They should be in their home countries kind of thing. Um, but they exist, okay? Let's pull from the Akashic records here. This is my Akashic tarot deck, and I literally use it to read Akashic records. So I feel like you had a gift for detailed work. I feel like this artist saw that. They saw your gift. Tell me more. We have the willow with 2 of forces. There's a tree again. There's something about a tree. We have up in the air and the sands of time. It's as if your talent, it's like this master sculptor saw your potential in some kind of intricate work. And I see someone carving something. How did they see? I want to know. I need some cards here. Look at some tarot. How did the sculptor see the intricate work? I'm not taking reversals. We have the 10 of Cups. Okay, so here's the thing. You made this master sculptor happy, this master artisan. I think despite your enslavement, I think once you moved into this more casual closeness, because you worked with the sculptor in their workroom, you assisted them, and at first it was formal, but the more you got close to them, the more there was a casualness here. There was a little bit of happiness for you. And it's as if there's some kind of task here. What was the task? It was carving. It was carving wood. You were carving wood. There, and is the whole deck up? Yeah, the deck's upside down. We have the 6 of Cups here. There was lots of cups, lots of emotion. I feel like this master sculptor was able to see your talent through this sculpture. And I'm seeing someone carving like small like pieces of cedar or different kinds of wood. And it's almost like making like rudimentary mock-ups of things, or carving like copies of larger pieces to sell, or something like that. I got to tell you, tell me more about this. Tell me more. I was given the opportunity. I was given the opportunity to show my ability with strength here. The Star. We have Temperance, and we have the 10 of Wands. Okay, you got 2 tens here, okay? I feel like this master artisan saw something in you and gave you the ability to see talent. Well, gave you the opportunity, to possibly see your talent. So I feel like you were given pieces of wood. Trying to move everything over so you can see the cards. You were given pieces of wood to like whittle, to copy larger pieces. And your detailed work was phenomenal. Like with the 10 of Wands, I'm getting like lots of passion. Like you put your heart and soul into it. And it feels like because you hadn't had a lot of creative release. I feel like before you were taken, even though you may have been quite young, I feel like because this feels like a family art or a family craft that was being passed on. Because of that, I feel like this was something you were kind of taught as you were growing up. So it was something that was just something that was always taught. And I feel like what happened is it kind of changed your life. It's like even though you were never set free in this lifetime. Okay, you were never set free to become a huge like sculptor or artist, or to do your free will here, to grow in confidence in your ability. You were also, though, given the opportunity to kind of study, understudy under a master, however, with limited freedom. Okay, so it's complicated. Tell me more about this life. Tell me more. These two. We have clearing the way and in crescent moon. See how they're working? They're working on their skill, on their craft, and clearing the way. So in that lifetime, I feel like, of course, being enslaved is going to make you feel less than. Being oppressed, being forced to do the bidding of other people constantly, and in Greco-Roman times, slaves were treated horribly. Um, but you had value. And I'm going to tell you, I think some of you had like I don't want to call them that. It's just disgusting. You had a very talented boss. Okay. Very talented person over you who saw your gifts and abilities, and they were attracted to you, but they still maintain their authority over you. Okay. And I feel like there were times that this person was very, they held space for your gifts to a degree. Okay. But they always let you know your place. This person was, in some ways, they don't exactly feel like an aristocrat, but because of their sculpture and their talent, they were respected. Okay. I do think for some of you, there was a crossing of the line with this person. I feel like there may have been like an intimate relationship. For a few of you, there may have been love with this person. As much love as someone who is oppressing another one can have. And I do feel like for some of you, it made you happy. It gave you a sliver of happiness to have that secret relationship with them. But in the end, you were still what you were. Now, I feel like, I'm coming to this tree, and I feel like the passing here was tragic. I feel like the death was, I'm hearing like syphilis or syphilis-like disease. There were like wounds on the face, there were wounds on the body. So maybe it was like a smallpox type thing or syphilis type thing. Perhaps it's something that I'm not aware of, but I'm reading it as that. And I feel like you were, I feel like this oppressive artisan type person, I feel like they scattered your ashes around this tree, around a tree. Now, I'm not real familiar, or I can't really remember what practices they had as far as when slaves passed on. So, but I'm pretty sure that cremation was a possibility. But it feels like, I'm seeing someone kind of do this on their own property. They kind of did it on their own, and then they scattered your ashes around a tree. And I feel like that the forgiveness here is linked to your mother in this past life. I feel like this mother energy feels like they didn't do enough to protect you in that life. When really, when, you know, when you have these big, you know, warriors come to town, and take what they will, there isn't a whole lot you can do about it, right? And that's what I feel here. I feel like just outpowered, outnumbered, a lot of oppressive energy, suppression, that kind of thing. And I feel like the mother haunted the farm, for a while. And it feels like she kind of turned into a, what would I call this? Like a hollow spirit, that kind of did moaning and wailing, a wailing spirit. Um, and it feels like people may even still be able to hear her on the wind at times. But she's not really there anymore. This is more like a psychic or energetic impression from this lifetime that's left. Okay. Um, so I feel like in this lifetime, you are extremely talented. Okay. But probably not real confident about it. You probably, you may or may not have gotten skill on it. You may not have felt like you have enough skill. And I'm going to tell you, sharpen your tools, sharpen your skills. Okay. You have the inborn talent for this, but you lack the confidence. Okay. And I want to point out to you that this master artisan in a past life, and if you stayed this long, you may have some gut psychic feelings about who this could be. Okay, I'm not going to fill in that blank for you because it feels like different artisans and different, take what resonates here. I'm using the Greco-Roman time as a guide. Okay, it could be the Greco-Roman time in a different country. It could be Egypt. Okay, the story could be a tad bit different with different environments. All right. But I feel like you guys have a lot of angelic energy. You have a lot of light and you're extremely talented. And the issue here in this life is your confidence and probably staying the course to get a lot of the skill you need or your ability to get the skill. Okay. We're going to take 3 from the empathic oracle. We have alchemizing confusion into clarity. We have sitting with sorrow. And we have trusting in destiny. The sitting with sorrow feels like it is related to your family. You may have issues with your mother. You may have issues trusting your mom. You may not, or a maternal figure or feminine energy in general. Feminine energy may have failed you on a consistent basis in this lifetime. You may have found that no matter what you do, you just can't seem to have a good connection with them. You just can't connect, or they're not there for you. Okay. And you may be confused about a lot of things, just about your destiny, about your future, about your gifts. And sometimes when we're that confused, it's just easier to like avoid it or not look into it or not follow up on our dreams and on our visions. Okay. And this is coming forward because this is part of your quote unquote destiny. It's a possibility for you that's unfolding. You were given these gifts so that you can share them, so that you can give to the world what you have within you. You have very rich gifts to give. Give me more information about this sitting with sorrow. Some of you guys have some issues with depression. We have bride in a cage. We have atonement and we have obsession. Okay. I feel the oppression here. I feel a lot of oppression. Um, and like I said, it feels like it's coming from family. It feels like you have a feminine energy that's very judgmental. Perhaps wouldn't give you the freedom to do what you wanted to do. Um, for some of you, they saw the gift but didn't have the ability to give you what you needed to develop. Um, but I feel like for a lot of you, there was no cheerleader here. Okay, there was nobody supporting you. And so, of course, that lack of confidence is going to be there. We have obsession and we have atonement. Um, and I feel like really the obsession feels like passion. It feels like a lot of you haven't connected deeply to this passion. Some of you may think you have, but you really haven't. You haven't really ripped the lid off of it and gone deeply into it. And it's like once you give yourself the freedom, once you get yourself out of this cage. Some of you guys are thinking too small. Some of you guys are keeping yourself small. You're hiding yourself away. Like in this lifetime, slaves have to keep themselves small. Slaves are not to be seen, especially back then. Like you weren't supposed to be seen. You're not supposed to be heard. You can't have passions. And it feels like this lifetime for you is kind of an opportunity for this energy, like a karmic release of you being able to rise up in your confidence and come forward in your talents and abilities. And we have the star card here, do we not? And for people to be able to see you as the great talent you are, as the abilities that you have. You may not be a sculptor or a painter, whatever this is, whatever your great abilities are. It's almost like I'm hearing the universe atoning for all the bullshit you've been through in your life. This depressed energy, this like oppressive energy, all of this energy is meant to catalyst you to the next phase in your life. And I'm seeing a new book flopping open. It's really meant for you to have a rebirth of a new life for you and starting to trust your own empathy, your intuitive hits, your gut, so you can move forward to the life that you want to live, okay? Because you're meant to live a life you want to live. But it really has to do with you following through on what you're passionate about and allowing the universe to level out this karma. I feel like there's a lot of good karma coming for you, a lot of beautiful things. Okay. All right. Let's get a few more cards for you. Tell me about these beautiful things. Tell me about these beautiful things coming from my group 1 in this life. Tell me. I understand you have a lot to overcome. I see it in the cards. Okay. There is a lot of oppressive energy. But I feel like you have a gift here that is connected to a higher calling. That's connected to, something that you have to say. Your voice is important. And that's why this is so difficult. Okay. It feels like there's a lack of confidence in your abilities here. And it's time to heal that up. Okay. It's time to heal that up. The bottom. We have trust. We have trust again. Trusting in destiny. Okay. It's time to trust your journey. It's time to trust yourself. Okay. Sometimes you got to leap. Sometimes you got to understand the universe is going to carry you. The universe has got you. Your guides have you. A lot of you have angelics that are around you. Ask them for help. Ask them for help with learning to trust. Ask them for help with this situation. Because you are very talented. And the universe is supporting you. We have independence. I understand this is scary. It's scary to put yourself out there. I feel that your work, whatever it is very personal. And I vibe with this, okay? I vibe with this. And it's hard to put yourself out there. It's hard to be criticized. It's hard to be rejected. But I feel like there is a level of confidence and independence that's going to rise from this. And it's very powerful. Once you really step into your power and understand it, you're going to be unstoppable. Give me more energy from my group one. Tell me more. We have 34 and 14. We have two fours here. So fours may be a number of alignment for you. Give me another card here. What are these beautiful things? Beautiful things. We're going to take two more cards since four is a magic number. Okay. Okay, I feel like you are exiting a time of dissension. So if I feel like you are exiting a time in your life of sadness, I feel like you are exiting a time of depression and you're moving towards, see the sun here? Towards a time of brighter energy, brighter possibility, of intense inspiration and creativity. A lot of this has to do with trusting yourself. Trust your creative flow. Trust your creative inspiration. Trust yourself. Start having conversations with yourself and start trusting your gut. Exercise it often. Exercise your creativity. Whatever your gifts are, start interacting with them more. Build that muscle so you can trust yourself, okay? Because you have a lot of beautiful gifts. I understand that a lot of you are in a difficult place and you can't just wake up and believe, right? There are baby steps to this shit. And I've been there. You know, I've been in a place where I've descended into my own personal hell and been extremely sick and depressed, and my body was very weak. And it took a lot of power for me to rise. You don't just rise off your deathbed. I wasn't just in a deathbed. I was in the grave with my arms crossed, ready to close the lid on my coffin. I came out of that. Okay, so I understand how difficult this is. How do you do this? Baby steps, one small, powerful step at a time. You find something to be grateful for. You find one small reason to get up. You find one small thing that is inspiring and you act upon it. I started writing. I wrote a lot. I started meditating, which for me is very powerful. You find ways to cope, good ways to cope, healing ways to cope. You start really putting yourself first, which will piss people off, okay? But that's all right. It's all right to make people mad because those people who get mad because you start taking care of yourself, they got their own problems, okay? And that's a reflection of where they are. But you have to find a way to get yourself in a place where you can finally live the life that you want to live, the life that vibes with you, where you're free to express yourself and express your gifts, because that is what you're born to do in this lifetime. The things that were repressed, the things that you were not able to do in this past life, you were born in this life to do. You're very gifted and you're very talented, all right? And I really, really hope that you find a way to start honoring that within yourself and build upon it. All right? Take care of yourself, group one. You deserve the love that you give to other people. All right? Okay, that's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey, Group 2, all of you that selected mindfulness, this is going to be your reading all about your most powerful past life and how it is relevant to your life now. So keep in mind, this is a general reading, this is a general session, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Okay, so we're going to start off with the archetype oracle here. We're going to find out about your past life. Mindfulness, interesting energy, very interesting. It feels really intense. Group 1 was very intense. Okay, I want to shuffle, knock it, that energy out of the deck, and shuffle it up a couple more times here. Okay, Spirit, tell me about Group 2, their most powerful past life. Okay, we're going to take these 3 cards. Alrighty. We have Priest, Seeker, Trickster. Interesting energy. Priest, Seeker, Trickster. Okay, tell me more about this energy. Let's open up those Akashic records. Tell me more about this energy. Priest, Seeker, Trickster. Let's do one more shuffle here. Tell me more about this mindfulness for my Group 2. Tell me more. Okay. These 2. We have monk or nun, biblical. Okay. Give me a few more cards here. Tell me about this life. Tell me about this life. You were definitely a priest, a priestess, a medicine man, medicine woman, Asia. Okay. Tell me more. I feel like some of you guys, this was biblical times, or you were in the church as a monk or a nun. Some of you guys, this was Asia. You were a monk or a nun, Buddhist, Tibetan. Could also have been involved in the Shinto religion. I'm also getting some Hinduism as well. I'm getting now I'm traveling down into Africa, into more like tribal religions or practices. We have love life here. Something about love life as well. Some of you guys, I'm getting like you may have worked love spells or love energy for people. You may have helped arrange marriages and things like that. You may have helped bring children into the world. You may have been like a doula in the old days. A witch, a father as well. We have father here. You may have been a father in the church. I'm hearing cardinal. So I'm getting different energies. So take what resonates here. Okay, mindfulness. That really goes with like spiritual practice. I think we're right on target here. I'm seeing not nuns, monks in these kinds of outfits. You see how it like saris, and I don't know what they call these in different like Buddhist the religions and things. I'm not sure what this is called, but I see people wrapped in red, and the orange as well. Praying, chanting. I'm seeing people rocking as well. So I'm seeing in Group 2 that this is a past life where you definitely followed a spiritual practice. I feel like there was a devotion, absolute devotion to spirituality. I will say I'm feeling like something caught you off guard. It feels like love. It feels like there was some attraction here to someone else. Like some of you guys were like visionaries. Some of you guys were deeply seeking the face of God. You were deep, mindful seekers. I'm seeing like nuns prostrated before the cross. I'm seeing people going into ecstatic states in the jungle, in the forest. I'm seeing people who are emancipated. That's not right. Emancipated. They were starving. They were starving. I can't find the word. It's fine. Um, Starving as a way to reach like nirvana or have visions. I'm seeing people going on vision questing with the medicine man, medicine woman, taking substances, having trips, if you will, visionary trips. I'm seeing some people performing different practices that weren't easy. I see them guiding people through these practices. Some would say like ayahuasca type practices. I'm seeing shamans, female shamans as well in the jungle. So it's running a large gamut of different practices. But I feel like for group two, the problem came about with a person. Okay, there was a person on this path. And I feel like there was love here. It feels like the love was a problem. Like it was a problem for you to be in love. You felt it was a problem. For some of you, I felt it was a distraction. I felt it distracted me from what I was meant to do. It distracted me from my work, but it was irresistible. We have surrender. At times, we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go, and all will work out. I feel in this life like you didn't want to surrender. This is the card. New beginning, a new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. Some of you could not make peace in that life with what you were being offered. You just could not make peace with it. Tell me more about this. We are going to pull from this deck. Tell me more about the problem. Tell me more. It could get me killed. Activation. Got the activation card. I'm hearing like it was against my order. It's against my order. So you may have had a vow of celibacy, or you just couldn't be married, something like that. Or you considered it a distraction in your practice. We had confusion. There was a lot of confusion about this. This person brought tons of confusion. It may have been another father. Like you may have been a father and this was like a same gender kind of thing. Maybe not. It just take what resonates here. Okay, because this group 2 is a very wide, open kind of energy. There's many of you that may resonate with group 2. Okay, there was confusion in this lifetime about love. Got quite a few that popped out here. We have the 8 of Pentacles. We have the 9 of Wands. I feel like you did a lot of work to help people. I see like strong masculine hands giving bread to the poor. I see like wounds being cared for. I'm really picking up on a lot of masculine energy here. We have the King of Swords. We have the Moon, and we have the 2 of Wands. The 2 of Wands here, I feel it in my palm, and I read this deck through the energy of Lilith because this is her deck. Okay, this is one of the decks she's claimed. She claimed another one, but she really likes to use this deck. And it feels like this magician here has irresistible energy. And now I'm being pulled to the trickster. It almost feels like someone feels like they're being seduced by someone. And it's like they allow themselves to be seduced and they feel the sin of it. They feel convicted by it. You know, the people who go throw themselves on the altar because they think they've done something bad, they carry the guilt of it. And yet they find the connection irresistible. Now, this could be, different genders. Okay, it could be man, woman, traditional. It could be the same gender. It could be two ladies. It could be two gentlemen. It could be, I'm not feeling androgyny or non binary here, but, if this fits for you, it does. Okay, don't force it. All right. Never force readings. They either are for you or they're not, okay? I feel a lot of disturbance at the good feeling. I feel someone who is at disrest, disturbed, at pleasure, at love. Because I feel like no matter where this is, I feel like the focus was either on the vows taken or the the commitment to community, or there was something about the person, and I feel the person as this Knight of Swords. See, and I feel this is like an aggressive energy. This probably is a warrior, and I feel like medicine man, medicine woman may have had issues with some of the things this person did. Okay, I feel power. I feel power hungry. I feel I don't want to be attracted to this person. I don't want to fall in love with this person because I feel like there was a brutality with this person. Like they were very strong. I feel like some of you counseled this person. You tried to help them in some kind of way. You were called to counsel them. You were called to care for them. For some of them, this was the wound care you did. This was the nursing care, if you will, that you did. For some of you, you were called to counsel them like spiritually, or teach them some kind of spiritual practice. It could have been some kind of spiritual type martial arts, for lack of a better phrase. Okay, I'm limited in my connection with foreign cultures, or I don't want to use foreign. I hate that word. Like cultures unknown to me. Okay, because I don't feel they're foreign. I just feel like they're unknown to me because I feel them here in my heart. So they're not foreign. Um, I just feel like there's a feeling in this life of feeling like almost like you've been tricked by God in a way. Like there's this wonderful thing that you want. It feels so good when you're alone with this person. You feel passionate and love, yet they do things that are so horrible. And some of you, mostly all of you, can't really talk about that. You can't really counsel them because they have some kind of power here. Also, the relationship is improper for a lot of you. And for some of you, it's not supposed to be your focus. So there's a guilt there. So there's a lot of guilt and around love because you're supposed to be mindful of this spiritual path. That's what you're meant to do. Okay. I'm seeing like students in a like I'm getting like Buddhist temple, Tibetan temple, um, and they're sitting and there's like a warrior. I want to say a samurai, okay, but that comes in and like speaks and shows like different things, like different movements. I'm seeing that very clearly. Take what resonates here. It's almost like in this past life, you learned that love was painful, that love was uncertain, that love was for other people but wasn't for you. Okay. and that you had to choose between spirituality and sensuality, that you had to choose between living a spiritual life and living in the world, like being in the world and enjoying the world. You had to choose between like a sacrifice and enjoyment. And it feels like there's been a lot of cracking or damage of different chakras because it feels like it's segmented yourself in different ways in this life. Like there's guilt here. There's shame around sensuality, around relationships. There's shame about it feels like there's shame about like commitment to something and getting distracted by love or sexuality. Some of you guys may have, now this is just you and me here, okay? Some of you guys may have some fetishes or some kind of sexual behaviors that are on the down low, and you have a lot of shame about it. And just, it's just you and me here, honey, okay? And I want to cry for you because you don't need to have any shame about who you are or who you love, okay? As long as it's legal, consensual, and you're not hurting anyone, okay? And everyone's of age, okay? Who you love is who you love, all right? And the fact that you love is beautiful. You love with a purity. Do you realize that? This purity was fostered in this past life because you have such a deep connection to the divine. Are you aware of that? Your deep connection? You cultivated this deep, mindful connection to the divine in this life. I feel like in this lifetime, you felt like you let the divine down, like you were a disappointment to God. And that's why I see nuns prostrated before the cross. I see monks and nuns beating themselves with, self like flagellation. I see, people in the forest or people in the jungle, going hungry and doing rites of endurance and for purification and things like that. And a lot of self-punishment for loving someone who, you kind of judged as someone who was not lovable or had really horrible aspects because of their position, they had to be that way. They were expected to do certain things for their job or for people. They were a warrior. They were a fighter. Okay, and that's what they had to do. But it seemed to really bother you. We have Archangel Gabriel. Okay. You are very aligned with the divine. We have lightning bolt. Quite a few cards popped out for you. We have initiation of Count Saint Germain. He's the one that seemed to never have to he was immortal. We have diversity. We have the War of the Roses, and we have Hilarion. Okay. So, the bottom row here is where you're at, where you were at in this past life, how it kind of where you're at probably now. And I feel like you're extremely connected to the divine. Some of you know it, some of you don't. There's an awakening coming, either a leveling up or you're going to wake up. Okay, you're going to feel the connection to the transcendent that is immortal, your own soul self. You are, I keep saying this, but it's true. You are so connected to the other side. You are so connected to not just the other side, but soul, divinity, the all, that which is not nameable. And it feels like, unfortunately, in that lifetime, you kind of became bitter because you felt you couldn't have both. And perhaps you really couldn't have both in that lifetime. We have Hathor light codes, light immersion, full system upgrade, power recall. Now, I'm going to suggest something to you, and I don't think I've ever suggested this on my channel, but I'm going to suggest it to you because you are so deeply connected. Some of you are aware, some of you aren't. I'm going to suggest you call back your power from this lifetime because I think it's going to give you a kind of awareness and a kind of power that you haven't really felt before. I think it's going to give you clarity. I think it's going to help you understand yourself better. I do believe in this lifetime that your spiritual practices, your religious beliefs, and whatnot may be very different than the norm. I don't feel like you're falling into like the strict categories that you were in this past life. I feel like your soul knows on a deeper level that this will not work. Some of you guys may be trying to make the traditional things work for you, trying to make it fit, and it doesn't fit your soul because you know how this oppressed you in a past life, and it kept you really from being happy. It kept you really from fully expressing and connecting with life, because you can be spiritual, okay, and also enjoy life and love. It's not either or, it's both. You are here to fully experience your mindful connection to divinity and also your mindful, deep, sensual connection to the world. Okay? It's not evil for you to enjoy kissing your lover or eating chocolate. Okay? You're meant to enjoy those things. So I feel like with these two cards, we have War of the Roses. And I feel like this represents the internal struggle, the internal shame, the internal guilt, the internal war within self. You do not have to suffer. And for those of us who have been through like trauma and things like that and have had to hide parts of ourselves, we can have these tapes, subconscious tapes that run in our head that kind of keep us in a place of suffering, sometimes low-key suffering, and we don't realize it. It's like a pot simmering on a stove. I'm seeing that as a vision. And we don't realize it, but we have waged war against ourselves for a lifetime by not allowing ourselves to be happy, by denying ourselves happiness yet again, by adhering to other people's rules and expectations of ourselves. And I feel like in this now, you are meant to overcome this. You are meant to face your fear. You are meant to engage in life in a powerful way and live out loud, whatever that looks like to you. It's not either or. It's both. You are able to be completely connected to divinity in a powerful way and do with that what you will, and also express your sensuality, love, and happiness. It's not either or. You are going to go through an energetic upgrade, okay? There is a full system upgrade. There's an immersion of light, and it feels like it's this lightning bolt. Okay, it's the shot of awareness. For many of you, this will come from angelic light that's around you. These angels, this angelic energy, I feel like it's gathering around you. And there's like initiation energy going on with you. Because you are deeply, again, connected to divinity. And as soon as you're able to walk into your power, life is going to change for you. As soon as you are able to release the trickster within yourself, because the trickster is you. You are limiting yourself, okay? This is all self-limitation. Adhering to the expectations of others instead of freeing yourself to be who you truly are. All right? Let's get a couple more cards here. Let's see, we have summer, winter. So it feels like summer or winter, there's some kind of awakening or awareness you may be coming into. It feels very powerful. Some of you guys, I keep getting pulled to biblical. Some of you guys may be coming out of traditional religion. And you may have an experience that is a little foundational shaking. Okay. Let it shake. Let it rock. Let it roll. Okay. Go with the flow of it. It's meant to help free you from this war within yourself. It's meant to help you, okay? Again, we have spirit. Hilarion is about spiritual presence, okay? It's about spirits around you, gathering. And I feel that. I feel like a lot of you guys have quite a few spirit guides around you. Now, I'm going to say something that for some of you will be too far out. And for some of you, it's going to be right on time. Some of you guys have this energy from a past life that is you, that is one of your guides. I'm going to say it again. Some of you guys have this energy, this priest, priestess, nun, monk, whatever, shaman, medicine woman, medicine man, whatever, from a past life who is around you. And they have a great deal of wisdom and spirituality, healing. They have all kinds of things, and they are there to help you with this lightning bolt moment and this leveling up and immersion of light. Okay, some of you guys are going through it, and you've had the spirit around you. Okay, you're just not aware of where the spirit came from. Okay, we have architecture and the king of keys. Okay, what I'm getting is like keys to the castle. And the castle's being built. Your kingdom's being built. And you're getting the keys to the kingdom. It's a new life. I'm getting that song. It's a new life. I'm not going to sing it to y'all, but it's that song. It's a new life. It's a new day. That kind of thing. It's a new way of being. You are meant to find peace within yourself in this lifetime. You're meant to allow the practices of mindfulness to liberate you. Some of you guys, if you've never meditated, you guys need to look into it, okay? Because some of you guys have powerful third eyes and crown chakras that were developed in this past life, and you're meant to bring it forward. You're meant to bring forward all those gifts to this life today. And you're meant to learn to love yourself in the now. You're meant to learn to love yourself as you are. And all those things you're ashamed of, all those things that you hide away, you're hiding away some of the most interesting and beautiful things about yourself. You have to honor who you are in this life. You're meant to overcome this in this lifetime so that you can move on to this beautiful connection with divinity and help express it into the world and help other people see their own light. You are a being of light. You may be a light worker, and I don't say that often. I don't think everyone who says they're a light worker is a light worker, because a true light worker is rare, okay? A true light worker understands the shadow. A true light worker isn't full of all, like, butterflies and rainbows. They understand. There's some darkness sometimes. You got your darkness, right? Because that's part of the human experience. And it's time for you to accept some of your darkness, your imperfection. Your imperfections make you beautiful. They make you human. You're a human being. You have to understand you're a human being. You're a spirit in the vessel having a human experience. And it's important in this life that you allow yourself to have that human experience while you're connected deeply to the divine. All right? I feel like there's fear here. There's fear to overcome. And I understand this fear comes from a past life where, you could get executed for some of this behavior. You could get executed. Okay. You could lose your life. Your community could put you out. They could take you to the middle of nowhere and drop you. They could reject you. There are reasons there is so much fear, but understand that you live in the now. Yes, there are still risks. People could still reject you, your family, your friends, society, because you're different. But the great rewards, the fulfilling life is worth those risks. And to be honest, the people who reject you for who you truly are, those aren't your people, honey. They're not meant for you. And I say that with a warm heart, because the people that are for you can then find you because you're being who you are truly meant to be. All right? Okay, group 2, that's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey, group 3, all of you that selected Overcome Fear, this is going to be your reading all about your most powerful past life and how is it relevant to your life now. So keep in mind this is a general reading, it's a general session. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. All right. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull some cards. I'm seeing where I'm being guided. Let's pull from the Archetype Oracle first. All right, Spirit, tell me about group 3's past life. My tongue's a little heavy from my medicine that I use to help control my autoimmune disease. So you'll have to bear with me for that. On that. All right, let's shake it out. I've been using this one for every group, I do believe. So, all right. I'm seeing the cards. This one, and this one. There may be one more. We'll see how it feels. Teacher, servant, mentor. I feel a lot of beautiful energy, but I feel loss. And I am going to pull one more. Tell me more about, I feel like this one wants to come out. Poet. All right. That feels right. Okay. Now then, let me get this deck right here. This feels like love. Overcoming fear of love. That's what this feels like. I'm going to scooch my chair up a bit. Fear of love. Someone is a poet. They have a way with words. It feels like this. It feels like this. Someone has a way with words. I feel deep love here. All the cards want to flip over. We have Egypt. We have food and hunger. We have health. We have mother. We have persecution, inquisition, and we have Celtic, sorry. So I feel a couple of things here. I'm feeling the ancient energy. So feels like there's a few different lifetimes here coming through. So it's really important that you take what resonates, you leave the rest behind. Don't make it fit. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Okay. First, let's go to this very ancient feeling that I'm having. And I'm being pulled to the servant. I'm being pulled to mentor energy. And I'm seeing warriors. I'm seeing two warriors. Two warriors and a servant. Um, I feel like I feel like I am a knight of the church and I'm investigating Egypt for knowledge. Yeah, I feel like I am a knight that travels in pairs, but there's a servant with them that is female, and I feel she is special. I feel she's special. Let's pull tarot on this. Who is the feminine energy here? I feel the mother. I feel the mother is divine feminine energy. Tell me about this. She is hidden. She is hidden for her protection. She is the knowledge we were seeking. Okay, I feel like this lifetime represents what I'm seeing. It represents many different forms that this has taken in different paradigms of the hidden underground priestess, wisdom holder that is feminine, that had to be driven underground for protection of sacred knowledge. We have the moon. We have the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the Page of Wands. I feel the moon is this feminine energy. The moon represents this high priestess who is cast as a servant for her protection. And I feel like this is both. This is not just symbolic. There's something alchemical about her being in the servant role, because she's actually a channel for the goddess. She's a holder. She's the vessel of the presence of a goddess. And for each of you, it will be different. Okay? There's several paradigms here in different cultures, okay? Different ways this could manifest. Because I'm seeing the globe and spirit is spinning it. And that's telling me this is all over, okay? Different religions and different practices. But there were two who would go. And I feel like there's always two guardian spirits with her. We have the Page of Wands. This spirit is with you now in this life. It is a spirit of inspiration. It's a protective fire spirit. It's angelic and a seraphim. I'm seeing a seraphim forming in my vision. I feel like for some of you, this is connected to Gnosticism. I'm also starting to see like different tribal practices, indigenous practices now. I'm feeling a frequency. I'm feeling it, like in my body. Let's go back to Egypt. This is symbolic. This is a symbolic presentation of this happening in different places at different times. This is how she was preserved. This is how the knowledge was kept alive. Literally, there were women, feminine energies, etc. They weren't all women gendered, but they were feminine energies. They were made to hide. Many of them were made to hide out in the open. Some of them were actual servants, or in other roles as like maids as well to certain knights and monk warrior type knights for their protection. There was also teaching going on in the inner orders. There was magic being done in the inner orders. There was a ability for some of these high priestesses to literally channel the presence of the goddess. Now, this practice in different religions and different spiritual practices, it took time and work to be able to hold space for the presence of the goddess, especially the underworld frequencies. The underworld frequencies are important because they are transformative. And many within the human collective seek transformation. So they seek out the underworld energies. These priestesses, many of them had to go through rites and different levels of spiritual education. They had to sharpen their abilities. These were certain high priestesses that had inborn abilities. They were born with certain abilities, and they were led through practices to sharpen these abilities. There was also purification of the vessel as far as the food they ate, what they drank. All of these things were done in order for them to hold the energy of the goddess. It was an art form beyond anything. It was a spiritual manifestation, a spiritual art form. And those who were able to see these high priestesses hold the energy of the different goddesses, be them underworld or of the light world, were always transformed. And that's why they were able to keep them under wraps, because they are held as precious. And it wasn't that they were held in ego. They were held in light. And the fact that these people sacrificed basically having any kind of normality in order to bring forward these powerful, powerful energies. However, there were those in positions of great power. That is a reason these different practices were driven far underground, and we're hidden away because of persecution. And we know that certain traditional organizations worked very hard to clear out as many of these practices as possible in order to silence the voice of the divine feminine, be it of the light or of the dark. And it feels like I feel like my heart is breaking. It feels like in this lifetime, I'm hearing someone, I'm seeing them banging with their fist, and it looks like they're banging on a very expensive cherry wood table, and it's very thick, and they've got a signet ring on, and they're saying, make her pay with a pound of flesh. So I feel like some of you, a great deal of you, perhaps all of you, were subject to a very oppressive, and it feels masculine, force. We have judgment to make sure there's no boobies. It feels like this really touches me. It feels like there was an execution in front of the brothers and sisters, the people who you were caught with. It was as if they were made to see the goddess crucified or set on fire or whatever. And for those people, it left a lasting impression that radiates into this lifetime. And for you, it has deeply wounded you. But it also has strengthened your resolve. I feel that strength. But there's fear here. And rightly so. Now I'm going to tell you, the bottom of the deck is the Empress. I'm going to tell you that there's also love here. I believe that within the group, especially those of you who resonate with like traveling with two people who protected you, okay, could be more, but there was two specific people who were most important, okay, that one or both of them were in love with you, which would be normal for the masculine energy within them to be drawn to you, because you would be the vessel of the goddess. So you would have that effect on some people. And they were very close to you. They saw you daily. They took care of you. They made sure you were fed and things like that. So they had intimate knowledge of you, which would have caused them to grow extremely fond of you. For some of them, being in love with you was against their order, even though this is complicated, okay? Even though sacred sexuality was part of the inner order's practice, okay, it was still not acceptable to have like a personal relationship, especially with you. So, um, there's lots of heart-wrenching kind of drama and tragedy here, and lots of fear of not allowing people to know they're in love and being afraid to love romantically. Do you hear all the banging going on? I have a rooster outside my house. He's gotten really big. So tell me more about this. We have the King of Wands. And I get this feeling like the King of Wands and the Empress here. And I just get the feeling that the masculine just didn't feel good enough. Like there's no way love could be in the cards. I also feel jealousy from the other because I feel the Empress. See, I feel the Empress here is kneeling towards the King of Wands, and she is a motherfucking Empress, y'all. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel that she honored this king with her affection. That's the High Priestess. I think for some of you, there was an affair here, and the other person was extremely jealous. For some of you, there never was an affair, but there was such deep affection. There was always fear of feeling like you might get caught. I don't think you got caught by your order. I think you got caught by the bad guys. And having to be executed in front of them was wow, it was just torture. It was torture for you, and it was torture for them. It's not just heartbreak. It is to see the suffering was just something that they did not recover from. Of course, they would soon follow in death. I don't feel the energies lingered there. I think that there was a crossing over and a rebirth. There was a reincarnation. I think all of this group reincarnated very quickly because I feel like this whole group feels like they have a goal, a mission, a higher calling in this life. 2027 on 2227 on my clock when I said that. Let's get some more cards here. So I feel the overcoming fear is about love. I feel that you are very powerful. Whoever is watching this, you're very powerful. There's a lot of really occult knowledge here. You may have a natural affinity for the occult. You may be a witch or a magician or a high magician. You may just be really good at manifesting things. You may just have a really good sense of intuition or empathy. Some of you guys might have just a really good head for business. You might have a good gut. Some of you guys are straight up spirit mediums. You're trance mediums. Some of you guys are channels. Some of you are indeed like hold presence for God forms. Okay. That's a whole other thing. All right. Um, and it makes you extremely powerful. It makes you channel higher vibrations. It makes the wisdom kind of flows from you to other people. You're a teacher, you're a healer kind of thing. It's a great power here. And really holding that energy, you are a servant. You're a servant of the people. It's a heavy mantle. It's beyond being like a high priestess, because you're holding space for the holy and the sacred, be it of the light or of the dark. And I feel like the manifestations of this in your life and the life of group 3 come in different ways. Some of you guys are witches. Some of you guys are writers. We have a poet here. Some of you guys are great teachers. Some of you guys serve the community literally. You're nurses. You nurse people. Some of you guys are counselors. Some of you guys are the lady on the block that everyone can send their kids to their house. People don't think of those wonderful people as healers and nurses, but you are. You nurse and heal the community when you do that kind of stuff. It's touching to me. I want to cry, because those people are never thought of that way. But you are great healers, great teachers, psychics. But many of you have a lot of fear, and it is grounded in this persecution and execution in this past life, in this suffering, this inability to truly be free to love romantically, give one's life for the cause of helping others, yet unable to have that love for yourself. It feels like in this life, people can count on you. I think you're very giving in this life. You may work in the health field. We have health here. You may do something to help people, heal people. We heal, like I said before, we heal people in a lot of different ways. Some of you guys might be writers or teachers. You may be a servant in the community in some way. But there is a higher calling here. And it's rooted in your ability to love deeply. I feel like you guys are afraid of love. We have the Queen of Roses. Beautiful energy. The Scribe, with poet and scribe. Are you a writer? Are you wanting to write? We have the light of the world. Beautiful. Look at all that beautiful energy you have. Look at that. I just want you to connect with that. That's your inner light. We have the Ark of the Covenant. Ooh, I feel that warmth in my heart chakra. So what I'm feeling with this is I'm feeling like there is a sacredness within you. There is a divine spark within you, like a chest. Like I'm literally seeing within your heart chakra, like a chest that's holding a lot of divine wisdom, a lot of your gifts. There's a lot more there to unlock, okay? You're a beautiful person. You have a lot of amazing energy. There's fear here of love, of truly being seen, of allowing people to deeply love you. This card here, overcoming fear, as you see it's like a lantern. But what I see symbolically is I see a light locked behind glass. Like no one can get to you. Maybe they can see you, but they can't feel your heat. They can't touch the wax. They can't smell your scent, the Queen of Roses. They can't get to you. They can't really get to your heart, can they? Because you are afraid of being abandoned. You're afraid of being left after you, the King of Roses. You are meant to be in union. Some of you guys are in a relationship. It's not toxic, okay? There's no toxicness here. And you're just, look how she is turned away from him. And if you do it like this, he's turned away. So there's not a meeting here, because there's a denial in a relationship. So if some of you guys in your relationships, there's a denial of emotion, or there's an inability to get really emotionally deep, you're a beautiful person and you're meant to be in a deeply moving, fulfilling, loving relationship. It's going to help you unlock that chest of gifts within your heart. Some of you guys are meant to be a writer or creative in some way. Create something creative. It's going to be, it feels artsy. And usually I get something very broad, but this is coming in like something artsy. It can be digital art, but it's definitely something artistic. And it feels like a lot of this is hidden behind this chest, literally in your chest. And it's like it's hidden behind emotions that you are afraid to feel, because in this past life you weren't supposed to feel them for a lot of different reasons. And this kind of affected this life, because the gifts you have in this life are connected to that life. And it's time for you to unlock that chest. It's time for you to feel emotions. Some of you guys are with somebody who deeply loves you. And it's time for you to unlock that. For some of you, this person's coming. And it is what it is. For some of you, you may not want to hear that, But, if you're struggling with your gifts, or you've come to an impasse, or you feel blocked, and you're aware of the fact that you're a little closed off to your emotions, well, this may be it. This may be it. You need to start getting more connected to your emotional center. As you do this, the side effect will be you may see people come towards you. Let's see what these cards say. There's a lot of them. I might not take all those. There's quite a bit. Let's just see. We have the Mirror, escaping my own image. You need to examine why you are so afraid to let people in. Why are you afraid to go deep? Why are you afraid to let people love you? Why are you afraid? Because they may leave. Okay, I'm going to say this, and I say this with deep emotion. And I need you to listen to Auntie Amy. Sweetheart, eventually everyone leaves. We all eventually leave. It is part of life. How we leave will differ. Some of us will leave because we break up. Some of us will leave because we pass on. For some, it will be a long time. For others, it will be a short time. But when we live in the fear of someone abandoning us, we never get to have the experience of truly knowing them. So you're either going to live your life and never really have anyone who truly knows you, right? Think about that. Think about passing through this world and no one truly knowing you because you're afraid to let anyone truly love you because they may leave you. That it's in itself is scary. But we all leave. You will leave. It's just part of life. And if you can just step into that acceptance and understand life is about experiences, it's going to end the same for all of us. So have the experience, have the joy of knowing someone, enjoy those moments. Don't live in the fear of it ending or someone leaving. Live in the awareness that everyone leaves eventually, everyone crosses over in some form or fashion. So life is precious. Your moments with this person are precious. Be joyful, enjoy it. But don't allow the fear of the possibility to keep you from engaging in meaningful, fulfilling, loving relationships. Because you are stealing and betraying yourself. You are stealing from yourself and you are betraying yourself. We have full moon 30, dark lighted magic in the air. This magic that I feel in this past life is within you. You are extremely magical and powerful. Some of you guys may be witches, or you may be an oracle, or intuitive, or a spirit medium, or you may do ritual magic, or you may just be interested in the occult. Whatever it is, that magic in that past life is available to you now. You just have to pull it forward. How do you do that? You can do it in a ritual. You can ask your guides to help you pull it forward. How you pull it forward is up to you. Time is an illusion. The fact that I'm saying past life is just so we have some frame of reference. All time is now in my reality. It makes it easier to kind of pull from different lifetimes when you think of all time is now. If all time is now, and let's do a thought experiment. All time is now. And I'm going to visualize before me a ball. And when I reach in that ball, I'm going to reach into this lifetime. And when I reach into the ball, I'm going to pull out the gifts and I'm going to put them in my heart chakra. You could literally do visualizations like that. That's magic. You don't have to have all the bells and whistles because magic happens within you. You are the magic. You are the spell. Yes, you can do the herbs and things like that. I do that too. But some of us don't really need that. We can do it on lots of different ways. See yourself back then. Connect with the vision of yourself. Connect with the lifetime. See your gifts manifested in that lifetime. Do a past life regression. There's all different ways to do it. But this powerful magic that you had, you have it now. It's within you. Some of you are oracles. Some of you are powerful healers. Some of you are teachers, etc. Whatever resonates for you, you should definitely look into it, okay? Because you're something special, all right? And you're meant to do wonderful things here. But you're going to have to overcome the issues with love. And get this card, and this card. We have the Ascent, the Oracle of Delphi, and Spring Autumn. Y'all, I mean, what more do you need to know? You're meant to ascend, okay, into this gift. And not just into it, but to the mastery level of this gift. Now, it's a journey. The ascent is a journey. You have to go up the mountain. You have to put in the time and the dedication. You have to be willing to do the do. Okay, we have spring, autumn. What I'm getting from this card is time. It takes time. Some of you guys have already put in the time, and you guys are about to go through a major upgrade. You're about to walk into the mastery of a gift or ability. Okay, and this is spirit telling you it's coming from this past life. This is your validation. If you've had intuitions about this past life, this is all your validation. For some of you, this is your first time hearing this story. This is your first time hearing this, but you've had a feeling. This is your validation, and you're about to walk into some gifts. For some of you, literally Oracle of Delphi. You're psychic. You're intuitive. We're all psychic and intuitive, but some of us have a more pronounced gift this way. Some of you guys are healers. Some of you guys are writers. Some of you guys are artists. Whatever this is, okay, it represents different gifts and abilities that are connected to the goddess of light, the goddess of dark, whatever, okay? The ones that also walk the in-between, okay? The in-between. We don't want to miss those, okay? I don't want to miss those. And there's something significant about spring, autumn here, okay? Also could be a spring goddess or autumn goddess, okay? So, but I'm feeling powerfully drawn to autumn, all right? So underworld energy there. So take what resonates with that. But it's like the power that I felt when I was channeling that energy, I feel it rising for you in this lifetime. And it's coming forward, and it will help you in so many ways, especially now with all the stuff that's going on in the world. It will help you overcome this issue. As you grow in conversation with yourself over what's going on, I feel like as you open more to love, and I know it's hard. I do. I absolutely know it's hard. It's hard to trust. It's hard to open up. But for you, I feel like opening up to love is going to help open up that chest in your heart. And it's going to bring in a ascension, a phoenixing event, whatever you want to call it, a glow up. It's going to bring that in. And it's a kind of glow up that is very powerful. It's profound. It's a profound glow up in this lifetime. It's something that's going to make a major impact. I'm seeing someone energetically impact the energy around them, and it kind of rippling to the people around them in a very positive way. It's beautiful. All right, group 3, that's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey, group 4, all of you that selected Let Go. This is going to be your reading all about your most powerful past life and how it affects you now. So keep in mind, this is a general reading. So just take what resonates here and leave the rest behind. So let's get into it and find out about this past life. Let go. All right. Okay, Spirit, tell me about group 4's past life, most powerful past life, and how it affects them now. All right. Do a couple more shuffles, a couple more. Did I tell you to keep in mind it's a general reading? If I didn't, do. And use your own discernment. Okay, I probably already said that, but oh well. We have Queen. Oh my, Queen. We have Don Juan. And we have Saboteur. It's sabotage. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, I'm going to get one more. I feel like we need another one. I'm going to cut the deck and pull it like this. We have Fool. Wow, interesting energy. Oops! Oh no, I dropped that deck. Oh no. Oh well. Okay, let's keep going here. Let's pull from this deck right here. Good thing I'm done. This is my last group. Okay, tell me about my group 4. Tell me about my group 4. This feels like love. It feels like someone took a chance and something got fucked up. Tell me about this situation. Tell me about this queen. Tell me about this queen. I will never forget you. You are unforgettable. We have the arts. We have phobias. And we have imprisonment or slavery. This is starting to feel like somebody fucked the queen over. We have trust and faith, betrayed the trust of a queen. Give me a couple more cards. We have a baby. We have Atlantis. There's another lifetime also. And we have Native American. So we're starting to get some different lifetimes here. Okay. All right. We're going to put that. Let's put it here. Okay. I want to focus on this queen energy I'm feeling. We've got some other lifetimes though. Tell me about this queen. I feel her trust was betrayed. Couple things are coming up. We have a spy, someone who was close but turned against the queen. Yeah, made to sabotage, gift the treasure inside. Gave the queen something. Oh my. There was a child. Solitude, alone with myself. Some of you guys went away. Someone turned on you. It was political. You were royalty. You may have been a king, a queen. Some of you this is a courtesan or someone in the court who was turned and sabotaged, betrayed your trust. I feel like some of you had a child or were pregnant and you went away, you were sent away and had the baby. The baby was given up, wasn't kept. Some of you lost the baby. Different things happened there. Give me more energy here. I feel like some of you guys the royal was imprisoned or was put off, put away, put on a estate, like shuffled away. Because the Don Juan saboteur, their side won, however this was. And we have obsession, my eternal thirst. There's a thirst for revenge here. Suffering. There's a lot of suffering in love. There's a sense here of betrayal. You probably have had a feeling of a lot of betrayal in love. Perhaps you have had a child with someone that has betrayed you or you felt betrayed. Perhaps you're raising your children on your own. There's this energy like of solitude here, of loneliness, of unquenched desire. For some of you guys, there's this longing. And for what? Some of you guys don't even know. Something different. I get this feeling of like creating my own prison in a way. I feel like when people betray you or lie to you or mislead you, I feel like it cuts you to the bone and you have a hard time letting it go. And this is because of this past life. It's rooted in deep-seated betrayal. I haven't forgot about that. I haven't forgot about this over here. We have phobias here. I feel a couple of things. I feel like a fear of enclosed places. Some of you guys were imprisoned for years. Some of you guys died in prison, or you were imprisoned in kind of like what I would consider like it feels more like a mental, like a very rough kind of mental place or place for wayward people or something. But because you were like upper class, you were like in a posh area or something. Like not posh, it was nicer, but that's tongue in cheek. There's something about enclosed places for some of you. There's phobia of love. There's phobia of love and there's phobia of being alone. Like some of you guys have both, and it's almost like they just brush up against each other all the time. It's like, how can I be afraid of being alone and be afraid of love? Like I'm afraid of people and I'm afraid of being alone. You're afraid of people because people fuck you over. You've probably had people fuck you over your whole life. You probably had people that you really felt deeply for, really would give the skin off your back for, completely fuck you over. Probably people who in normal families and normal relationships deeply love each other that you would never suspect in a million years would fuck you over, have fucked you over, the unexpected fuck you overs, right? And it has left you with this kind of energy of like, how can I possibly let that shit go? You know, when you've had every single kind of person in every single kind of position in your life, literally, emotionally, screw you over. How does one recover from that? I get this energy. Understand that some of this energy you're feeling, though, is from this life. It's from this experience. It's being brought forward. Why is it being brought forward? So you can let it the fuck go. So you can move the fuck on. I feel like this is really so powerful that they're bringing out this. They're bringing out Atlantis and they're bringing out Native American. I feel like these are very powerful past lives. Okay. This was a powerful past life. I feel like you were royalty here. You were of royal blood. You had a position of power. Unfortunately, you also had people who were very against you. They didn't like you. And unfortunately, you paid for that. I feel like you fell in love with somebody, or you were in love with somebody who turned on you, betrayed you. And it didn't just cost you your heart, it cost you your life, some of you. And for some of you guys, it cost you like your children, or it cost you your family. It's big. We have the sword of light, divine protection, cords cut, breakthrough energy. This is interesting because I'm feeling this energy of how can you let some of this go? Well, I'm going to propose something that is a little out there, but just hang with me with it, okay? If you feel connected to this, what I'm saying, I offer a suggestion that perhaps you cut the cord with this past life, with the energetic frequency of the betrayal, the people who betrayed you, the energy of the betrayal of this past life. You cut the cord with that. You let it go. And see how it makes you feel. Okay? Take the gifts, cut the rest of the shit. Okay? Take the gifts, cut the rest, and see how it lightens your load. Okay? See how it gives you clarity. Because I feel like it will help you cut cords in this life. Now, some of you may not feel okay with cutting cords from past lives. So, if you don't, but you have people in this life that you really need to let go of because there's been so much betrayal, perhaps it's time to do a cord cutting. You can do it energetically. You can do it through a ritual, a spell. You can do it many different ways, okay? But perhaps it's time to cut the cord and let it go energetically. It really does work. It absolutely does work. Sometimes you have to cut it more than once, okay? Some cords are so energetically dug in deep, however you want to phrase it, that sometimes we got to cut it more than once, okay? But you may find it's much easier to move forward with this energy kind of releasing from you. Because it does feel very oppressive. It does feel very restrictive. It does feel like I have been so betrayed that the idea of being able to truly love someone makes me want to crawl out of my skin sometimes. And some of you guys are in loving relationships, but you're unable to fully give of yourself. You may have been drawn to group 3. You're unable to fully give of yourself because of this nagging feeling that it's too good to be true. Something's going to happen. This person's going to turn on me. It may haunt you. If it haunts you like this, cut the cord or do whatever you do, okay? Because you'll find out real quick if it is that. If it's not, then you find out what it is. You don't ignore it. Don't ignore those feelings. They deserve your attention because you deserve to be free of it. You deserve to be able to let it go. You can also do a return to sender. Now, again, this may be kind of wild, okay? Return to sender past life energy. I know to some people that's crazy, Amy. Maybe it is. Okay? But energetically, it makes sense. We're talking about energies. Time is relative. For me, time is an illusion. I work outside of time. So if we have past life energy that is very strong like this, and we have someone who is having trouble with opening up and being able to truly love another, and it's just really difficult, then it's time to do some things that may be a little outside the box, but extremely healing. They have the potential to be extremely healing. And this feels like one of those things. If you connect with this and you have emotion about it, write it down, journal it, get it out of your system. Um, there are a lot of past life regressionists. There's a lot of different like meditations you can do. But it feels like for some of you, there's a lot of pressure around this. There's a lot of anxiety around, are they going to fuck me over? Are they going to betray me? And it's like you can't fully love someone. It's you feel love as much as you feel safe. And honestly, it's not very much. It's hard for you to feel safe in a relationship. And for some of you, it has to do with trauma. I'm not going to trigger that, but I want you to know that I feel it. You have been seriously fucking betrayed. And I'm not going to paint it, I'm not going to paint a shit show into an ice cream shop. Okay. It is what it is. And I think the people who love you understand that you're a wounded person. They understand that you're wounded in this life. We were wounded in that life. The thing is that you were in a position of power and you were still wounded, which really kind of fucks you up because you think, because right now in this life, you may be in a position of power. You may feel like you're a powerful person. You may think to yourself, I know in my head that I should be able to let this go, but my heart can't let it go. You may be in that kind of mind frame. Like you're aware that this is a problem, but you have no idea how to let it go. Sometimes you got to think outside the box. You got to do some like past life stuff, or you got to do some artsy stuff, like paint about it, let the emotions out. Give yourself catharsis with this. If this is keeping you from being able to love and truly experience life, because I guarantee you it's not just affecting you in love, it's affecting you probably in your business, in your friendships. It's really trickling over into every area of your life because deep down you don't trust other people. And here's the thing, this queen trusted this Don Juan saboteur and felt like a fool. So deep down, this queen, royal person, whoever this was, feels like they can't trust themselves because they thought they could really trust this person. So in this life, you probably feel like you can't trust yourself. Now here we have Native American and Atlantis. And I feel like in these lifetimes, these are very powerful. I feel like you were important, like you held positions of power. Let's talk about it. Not this. I'm going to pull from the Starseed Oracle deck. Tell me about these lifetimes. It could be and, or. It could be one or the other. I feel like some of you guys have native, indigenous ancestors around you, and that's what that is. Just ask them for help with this. For some of you, this is a generational thing in your family. The betrayal. The not being able to trust yourself. Baby steps. Action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. You need to trust your gut more. I know it's hard, but it's time for you to give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit for the good decisions that you've made, okay? I'm seeing an indigenous ancestor, like standing like behind me over my shoulder. You need to give yourself some credit. You've made it very far. Wait, it's not time yet. Things are being woven, okay? So there's no rush. There's no hurry, okay? You take as long as you need to heal this. But this let go, this is a healing. Your ancestors, the angels, whatever you work with, they want you to heal this. This is a major work of your life. This is going to help generations for many of you. You're a generational healer, like you're healing your family line. And with that, you're healing the collective. A lot of you have like indigenous ancestors around you who help you with this or you work with. That's your validation. Okay, Atlantis. Tell me about Atlantis. We have big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. You were a visionary. You were a seer, a priestess, a priest. I'm seeing crystal energy. This is in another realm, the void. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. Okay, what I'm getting here is like with this intensity that you have going on, it feels like you need to slow down. You need to slow down so your healing can take place. Okay. I feel a connection with water with Atlantis. I feel like some of you guys need to spend some time in water. Maybe it's some healing baths. Slow down. I feel anxiety here, like slow way down, slower than slow. You need to find time to be slower than slow, okay? Connect with water. Uh, okay, this is a little side message. I've been getting messages from plants, okay? Some of your plants need more water. You're not watering them enough. And actually, those of you who like grow plants, if you think your plants are communicating with you, they are. And they want you to put some copper wire like around in their pots, okay? I'm connecting to this through this Atlantis energy. So let's get some more cards for Atlantis. We have Star Ancestors, Hidden Secrets, Lost Wisdom, Look a Little Deeper. You're very wise. You have so much wisdom within you. But some of you guys are moving super fast. And here's the thing. Sometimes we move super fast as a way to disassociate from issues and things. We just try to move through it. We just try to move through it. We just try to work through it. We just try to move real fast. And there is a need here to slow way down, to connect with water, crystals, with nature, with self, and allow yourself to connect with your emotions, to connect with your environment, to be in the moment. The power of now is a true thing. It's a real thing, you guys. There is a lot of healing coming through for you. You just have to be willing to slow down to get it. You guys, they're really bringing home your need to slow down. And we're at 23:43 on the clock. There's a need to slow down. We have activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. You have to start building trust with yourself before you can build trust with others. That's how it works. And it starts with baby steps. It starts with slowing down and listening to your voice, being in the moment, communing with nature, finding the voice of the intuition within you, getting to know yourself, getting to know what you want, what you need. But you have to slow down to do that. You really do. You can't rush through it. We have earthed, learning how to be human in a world, but not of it. That's part of slowing down, is connection. Connecting and slowing down are going to be, they're going to have such a payoff for you. There's so much clarity that's going to come through for you. And I feel like at the end of all this, you are going to be able to read a bitch across the room, whether they're real or they're fake. You're going to be able to know someone who is a saboteur from a million miles away. You're going to feel it. It's going to be something that is so intuitive for you, so natural. If you just slow down and take a moment for yourself and find that space. We have loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addictions, let God in. It's time for you to connect with your inner divinity, your inner connection to the all. It's time to let go. Slow down and let go. I tell you, once you do this work, your life is going to shift. And amazing things will happen when you start to trust yourself. Your path is going to become more and more interesting, more and more unique. it's going to at times be so joyful that it will surprise you. It will rock your world how joyful your life can get. The awarenesses will knock your socks off. You will get such deep awarenesses of the reality of your life and yourself. And it will bring people into your life who you will learn about discernment. You will learn about the truth of people. You will also get people in your life who are your people, and they are meant to be in your life, and you will have made space for them mentally, physically, in your heart, in your emotions. You will be ready to have deep and meaningful relationships because you won't fear the betrayal. You will enjoy the moment with them and understand that humans will be humans. Humans will be humans. They are imperfect. Humans do fucked up shit to each other. That is part of the human experience. Strengthening our discernment helps us keep a distance from toxic people, but it doesn't mean that you won't ever be betrayed again. It just means that you're protected to a degree. You have to accept the fact that with every relationship, every situation, there is risk of emotional pain, physical pain, even for some things, financial risk. But your happiness, your fulfillment is worth the risk because life is about experience, not certainty. Your life is about experience, not certainty. Because it ends the same for all of us. It does. And for some of us, we start over and do it again in a different way. Some of us come back and live the exact same life again until we perfect it, until we master that life, and then we move on. And moving on is like moving on is just a frame of reference because many of us live all lifetimes, multiple times at one time. So it's different for different people. If you resonate with that, hi, how are you? All right, group 4, that's what I received for you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys.